In 2022, the World Health Organization reported that 2.5 billion adults were overweight, with 890 million living with obesity. Type 2 diabetes and metabolic diseases are currently accelerating on a global scale. To combat this, millions of people have turned to intermittent fasting. Social media lifestyle influencers market it as a rapid, reliable metabolic cure that guarantees weight loss without the need to meticulously measure food. But the clinical consensus is surprisingly fractured. A major review by Cochrane analyzed 22 clinical trials and concluded that the evidence behind intermittent fasting fails to match the hype, offering no clinically meaningful advantage over traditional dieting. Then, researchers at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health published the largest systematic review to date. Analyzing 99 clinical trials and over 6,500 participants, they found intermittent fasting to be highly effective for both weight loss and cardiometabolic health. Adding to the complexity, a 12-month study from the University of Granada demonstrated that participants using intermittent fasting successfully kept their weight off long after the initial trial ended. This raises a difficult question. Is scheduling your meals a genuine medical intervention, or is it a repackaged social media trend? We need to audit the clinical data to find the truth. Intermittent fasting focuses on the timing of meals rather than the specific nutritional composition of the food consumed. This circular clock illustrates the 16-8 protocol. You fast for 16 hours and eat for 8. Other methods extend this. The 5-2 approach involves 5 days of normal eating and fasting for 2. Alternate day fasting requires a full fast every other day. When you abstain from food for an extended period, your body reacts. Without a steady stream of incoming glucose, your insulin levels drop rapidly, signaling your body to stop storing energy and start burning stored fat. As the fast continues, your cells initiate a secondary phase. They shift resources toward clearing out accumulated internal debris and repairing damaged structures. By restricting the eating window, the body shifts from storing energy into a phase of systemic cellular maintenance. Because of these biological changes, a pervasive myth has taken hold online that intermittent fasting melts body fat significantly faster than standard diets. However, this side-by-side bar chart reveals the reality found in both the Cochrane and Harvard reviews. When you compare an intermittent fasting protocol to a standard calorie-restricted diet, the average weight loss is virtually identical. Condensing meals usually causes individuals to accidentally eat fewer overall calories, but the Harvard data identified one exception. Highlighting alternate day fasting, this specific protocol resulted in 1.3 kilograms greater weight loss, plus improvements in cholesterol and inflammation. But for the standard daily fasting routines, the hard data is clear. Outside of specific inflammatory markers, the practice is effectively a method of calorie restriction. To understand why doctors recommend fasting despite these findings, we must look to a year-long maintenance study conducted at the University of Granada. Traditional calorie-counting diets have an overwhelmingly high failure rate. People tire of weighing portions and logging endless meals. The Granada researchers tracked 99 participants for a full year after an initial 12-week weight loss intervention had ended. This line graph tracking body weight over 12 months illustrates the pivotal finding. While the standard diet line slowly creeps back up as people regain weight, the line for participants using the 16-8 fasting schedule remains stable and flat. Following a daily clock requires less mental effort than tracking macronutrients. 1 in 3 participants found the habit manageable enough to continue fasting on their own. The distinct advantage of intermittent fasting lies in its psychological sustainability. For exhausted dieters, a simple schedule is easier to stick to. If you are considering this approach, the Granada data confirms that the specific hours do not dictate the results. An early window from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and a late window from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. were both equally effective for maintaining weight loss. For those managing conditions like insulin resistance, PCOS, or type 2 diabetes, fasting can help stabilize blood sugar levels. However, this requires careful monitoring to prevent dangerous drops in glucose. Your eating window should adapt to your life. Skipping vital family dinners or social meals often leads to isolation, which is a primary reason people abandon their health routines entirely.
It is also important to note that altering your meal frequency requires professional medical clearance, as outlined by institutions like the Mayo Clinic. Their guidelines are explicit. Intermittent fasting is unsafe for pregnant or breastfeeding women, individuals with a history of eating disorders, and those at a high risk for bone loss or falls. Intermittent fasting provides a flexible, clinically validated framework for long-term health, offering a sustainable alternative to the complexities of constant food logging. It is a path toward a lifestyle you can actually maintain for the rest of your life. Subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based health breakdowns.